How's it going, guys? Anfield here. Welcome back to a new third mark finish session. Now for this one we have the 113 and it's played by Respected and it's post buff 113, so it's going to be pretty interesting to watch these replays. Very high damage replays. However, I will warn you guys, those of you that are very extra sensitive and get triggered by gold rounds, and you feel that regardless of what a player does in a battle, the fact that they load premium rounds means they have literally zero skill, and you completely disagree with it, that's fine. Probably not the best to watch this. He fires a lot of heat in these games, so if that's something that bothers you and you don't think you can get anything out of it in regards to everything else about the replays, including positioning and things like that, then by all means, I warn you now, don't watch it. But for those of you that understand that positioning and things like that are the most important aspects and that wargaming is basically forcing people to fire heat these days, let's actually get into the replays because I really think you guys will enjoy some of these battles. Alright, so we're starting off on Serene Coast. We're on the south spawn. It's an interesting lineup. He could go 1-2 line with the added gun depression of the 113 on the sides, but I'm looking at the lineup and I'm seeing 3 artillery. That makes that flank very dangerous. It's also unlikely to be any real damage or anything he can actually achieve over there. I would probably say that the better idea is actually to go 9-0 and deal with the heavy tanks that are likely to go over there. I mean, okay, maybe the E5 goes 1 line, possibly, but the others are unlikely to do that, and he is going to go 9-0. Okay, so yeah, we'll see if he gets. No, he's going to go the safe way. Okay, yeah, always go the safe way, guys, because usually there's a tank that'll go from the north and spot D7 and spot you crossing. So just be safe about it. Take your time with it. Make sure you're okay. He does have a very heat-heavy lineup, but that's just to mitigate any RNG. I mean, why take the chance, right? If you're going to go ham on heat these days, why not? If you can afford it, go for it. Personally, I can't afford that because I don't want to play premiums. I hate playing premiums. I don't know if any of you guys are with me. Most people seem to enjoy playing premiums. I think it's the worst thing ever, but I seem to be quite alone in that. But anyway, yeah, this is obviously a very credit intensive lineup, so most people won't be able to run this, but that's okay because I'm sure a lot of the shots he will shoot, probably AP is fine. The only thing heat does is you can take shots that are like a 50% chance to pen with AP because of RNG. Let's put 25% on all your penetration. Wow, that's actually convenient. But yeah, heat will help mitigate that in a lot of situations. Well, that's a really nice start to this battle. Only 2 tier 8 artillery left now, which makes a big difference. And okay, so we have E5. The T-54 lightweight was the thing to pen him. E5, Type 4 heavy, already lit over here. No sign of the E100 yet, although I would wager that he is over here. We can see that the T-57 is on the 1-2 line. It's very important to do an early scan when you get into a battle to see exactly where all the tanks are lit on the team so far, so you get a general idea about what you're going to be up against. Respected, not quite able to hit the E5. You can see he's in a very good hold down position. There's the E100. That should be an easy pen if he can get the superstructure. I think he hit the mantlet there on the Yak Tiger. Poor Yak Tigers, man. That superstructure. Oh! I think it just went into the inside of the mantlet there. IS-3 is over here as well. So as long as he keeps these guys from pushing, he's okay. He has an E100 and T-34 now backing him up, which is good. But you can see it's a very good hold down position. Probably why he came up here was to prevent them from moving. He's a little shaky of the camera. He's probably upset with himself there. At least on the replay, it seemed that he could have probably aimed it a little bit better. Get a nice turret cheek shot on the Type 4 heavy there. Tank with 0 frontal weak points, thanks Wargaming. Now E100 actually does have a frontal weak point on the turret for AP. It's the commander's hatch and above, but due to the fact that you have so much inaccuracy and RNG on your accuracy, it's better just to go for the larger target, which is the cheeks, which of course, if you're not playing a stupidly high-powered tank destroyer, most tanks will need heat to defeat that. So E100 is getting kind of messed up here. Respected not really exposing himself at all to the other enemies, although now that E100 is backed, he probably will do. He needs to be careful of the Yak Tiger. Was able to bounce the Yak Tiger. Type 4 heavy, HE, not doing a lot of damage. It was standard HE, as you can see from the little battle report thing. Okay, yeah, Type 4 dealt with. E5 is actually shooting heat back at him, which is obviously to be expected, but he does have a very good turret, and it doesn't have the hatch weak point like the E5, so E5 is actually slinging HE now. Interesting decision making. He's moving up because his E100 is moving up, which means he has hit points and armor to back him up. He just angled his tank a little bit there as he began to move in order to secure a track from the E5. You can bait people into shooting your tracks, and the 113 is pretty good at doing that because it moves relatively quickly. risky play. I probably would have dove straight in, but he's probably going to do that any second now. It did take quite a bit of damage there from the Yak Tiger. He probably would not want that, although this E5 keeps offering himself up. But this is a nice little extra hold down position. You can't really see it as well from this side, but they will struggle. Well, now the E5's up here. He won't struggle as much now to hit him, but there we go. But again, he doesn't aim properly and hits his track. This is his cleanup damage at this point. His team's effectively won. They have complete control over the map. The only thing that's a worry, well, even then, I mean, they could cap, but, you know, the T69 and Pilot are so close to the base that this should be okay. He should be able to clear these up, no problem whatsoever. Probably going to go for the IS-3 because he has a guarantee, because of the alpha of the gun, and when you're in these kind of winning situations and there's not much damage left to farm, sometimes it's just better just to go for the damage rather than the kill shot on the E100 there. It's just like a little bit of min-maxing in the game. He should be able to get a kill here. Yes. Okay. He's going to go and shoot the T-49, but the artillery, one of the artillery pieces left alive was able to clear him up in the end. But 6,000 damage, 5,300 block damage. So again, you know, regardless of the heat, you can see how well he positioned his tank, made sure it was held down at all times. You know, kept an eye on all opponents and did a general all-around good job at shutting down that flank despite them having a superior force there. So straight into Serene Coast again. I figured I'd put these ones back to back because they're opposite sides of the map. So he's going to play the 9-0 again. So we're going to see how it plays from the opposite end. I thought that might be useful to you guys. So we're going to look at it again. He's already pinged to his allies for assistance on the 9-0 line. Now you can see there's actually quite a few juicy things that he might end up facing, such as the 2 VKs that come to mind. It's like 1,700 hit points each, I believe. We'll see when we see them. Not entirely sure if that's correct. I think that's how much HP those VKs have. We'll soon see, but they're just basically damage sponges for him. Hopefully he'll get to see the E5 as well. Now you can see his team is not committing to the 1-2 line, which is fine. They just need to defend the base if they're going to do that. Giving up map control is actually not so bad on the 1-2 line here because you can kind of defend relatively easily, in fact really easily from the base. So very aggressive position once again. Snapshot on the T30, but yeah, that T30 is going to be very difficult to pen with that turret, so he's just going to see if he can see anything else. But not really anything other than this low so far, so he needs to start scooching forward. Obviously, he can take his time, but not too much time. He doesn't want to risk the Skoda and the 907 perhaps overwhelming the 1-2 line and quickly putting too much pressure on the base, although again the base is pretty easy to defend from this spawn. He just did a peek there just to see if there's anything over there, but there's really not anything. There's one of the VKs. Ooh, 1,700, well done me. Gold star. There's the E5 as well, but again, look at this sideways gun depression. Very, very good. Completely basically keeps the tank unexposed, except for obviously the turret. See if he can get the side. Very nicely done there. He's going to look for this E5. E5 shot heat into probably overmatch, I think. Unless he hit a hatch. I think it was an overmatch. Didn't really get to see it. Unfortunate bounce there on the hatch. He's going to back up a little bit maybe. No, I actually don't think there's anywhere he can go. There's too many allies in front of him. He's just going to have to put down suppressing fire and hope that the enemy team isn't aggressive. It's always a risk in this kind of position. The enemy team just YOLOs you anyway, even though it's suicidal for them to do so. You can see once again getting just double damage sponge here with the VKs. It does have to worry a little bit about the E5 if the E5 aims well while he's trying to get rid of the VKs. But as long as he keeps moving, he'll make it very difficult. T30 bounce there. You can see the turret really coming in handy here for the 113. He's no longer stunned, at least that's something good. Able to get another hatch on these VKs. Like I said, at this tier, in this position, it's basically XP pinatas. I mean, like, what can they do really? Very difficult to really make them work in a tier 10 game when 113 has this kind of strong position. It's to be very, very careful though, because of the T30 backing them up. I was going to say that's an easy pen on the hatch. Not sure what this E5 playing oddly. He's trying, but like every time he pokes up, because of the position he has, he immediately exposes the hatch. Just needs to pay attention, make sure this low doesn't shoot him. There is pressure on his base from the 907, but again, he does have a defensive team over there, so hopefully they hold. He may want to turn around at some point, but not immediately. This T-30 is not being dealt with because the artillery is probably looking at the base, but if he clears out the C5, he could either keep pushing or he could turn around and help his base. I'm not sure what he'll do actually, because he has quite a lot of options. I think he's going to dig out this T-30 because I think by the looks of it, he still has quite a lot of time for his base. And the 113 is a pretty fast tank, so he could actually turn around any point. So we'll just see how he plays this. He's probably looking for the 5120 at this point. There's a Skoda back here, though. Why are you poking? Oh, come on, man. It frustrates me when other people make mistakes like that. I don't understand the need for that kind of poke. Like, what does the Skoda think he's going to get out of that? You know, very low pen gun, no armor. Don't understand it. But, you know, each to their own. So he's going to be able to get rid of this T-30, I think, pretty quickly here. But he does need to go back to base for sure very soon. He doesn't want the T-30 shooting him in the back, though, so he does need to do something about it very quickly. It's maybe slightly fortunate that wasn't a no damage track. You have to be careful, obviously, when you do have heat loaded, because it will not do well against sides if you're not properly aimed. So he's going to look for this 907, who's very usefully exposed, leading the shot. And, of course, he stops, because that's just what people do. He's angled his 113 just to make it difficult in case there is a snap. A nice shot in the back of the turret there. Now, he looks like he's going to go through the middle route to his base rather than the other way around. There isn't that much danger because there's only a Ravioli on the cap, and he has an STRV over there who should be able to deal with it now that the 907 is dealt with. Now, if the 907 had actually stayed near the cap area with the hills protecting him, this would be a very difficult fight for Respected. But instead, the 907 was like, yo, let me go exposed, even though I should easily be able to see that the enemy team has tanks near my base that will turn around and shoot me. Interesting decision making there, but he's doing okay so far. There isn't really that much to worry about. The SRV should get resets, or not even the SRV, even the other guys should be able to reset. The low, maybe. There we go. Or even the RD, I'm not even sure who got the reset. It was a little bit close there at the end. Sometimes you really can't rely on pubs, but he'd already done a lot of damage, so I guess if it had been a defeat, it wouldn't have been the end of the world for him, but obviously at this point he'd much rather than be able to clear up the remaining tanks so that he can get little last remaining damage, especially when it comes to artillery, because yeah, it's always very satisfying to kill the artillery at the end of battles. Since they've been peppering you the entire game, the STRV has not moved far enough forward to keep himself protected like he should have done. He knew that Respected was there. He should have been pulled further forward so the hill was protecting him at the very, very least. Should be able to get the kill on these guys, though. There isn't really much of a threat aside from the artillery remaining. Unfortunately, he can't heal that stun. It's just going to be a mild annoyance for him. So obviously he's using his AP now. No need to have heat loaded. There's nothing here that has any kind of armor. They rammed each other, I guess. I don't really know. STRV and M5355. Interesting decision by the STRV, unless it was like an HE kill on them both. I'm not really sure. Now he's probably going to cross over towards the 1-2 line now, judging by where the artillery was shooting from. I would say that they're definitely on the western side of the map. But this battle's all about over, and it's once again another brawl situation where the 113 has thrived because he's put it in a situation where he's used the terrain to his advantage, been able to deal with his opponents in that regard. I mean, obviously the 113 will always thrive in those kind of situations now where it has a gun depression, especially even before you could sort of engineer your own gun depression. But now it's certainly much better in those kind of situations because you don't have to sort of, you know, get some kind of like rocket science level of gun depression by pushing your hull up in a weird angle. You can just sort of do it normally now, and you are dead. Very satisfying. Very satisfying. Hopefully he'll find this guy. God. 563 and a hefty stun. Yeah, you might as well repair and medkit that since he's already used his repair and medkit before. It's not like it's costing him any money to do so. This guy's in front of him somewhere. Ah, there you go. And he's just going ham, I guess. Very nice of him to offer his hit points up to Respected, though. His defender has no chance to shoot him, so that's top gun for Respected. And 7,000 damage, basically. So, a really nice game. Alright, so Berg. Now, I'll be kind of interested to see how he plays Berg, whether he goes into the city or whether he goes for field control. Now this side of Berg actually does have quite good control over the small city in the field on a 9-0 line. So we're kind of curious to see whether he does that or if he decides to directly counter. No, it looks like he's going to go... Yeah, he's going to go field. So he's going to use that added gun depression maybe and deal some damage, early damage through the middle. You usually catch a light tank or another medium or something like that trying to get into the sort of middle E, or I guess it's more like F line. Well, it depends on how early you are, I guess. And you can also catch tanks going over into the small area, so let's see what he's able to actually punish here. Because he's moving straight over, although he got spun over by... Don't know if that was a Scorpion or what, I wasn't looking behind him. But a very aggressive position early here, countering any of these tanks. I guess he can do this because really there's nothing there to punish. All his tier 10 opponents, even the tier 9 opponents, are majority heavy tanks that will not be interested in going over to the 1-2-3 line. So this is something he can get away with because there is no counter on the enemy team. There's no tier 10 medium. I don't know, maybe an STRV would counter it, but ultimately he's going to be able to secure this really, really early in the battle. He has to make sure he gets rid of these light tanks, though. He does not want to be surrounded. It's a nice snap there. Obviously he's using his AP. There's nothing he needs to use heat for here. T49 is getting more and more concerned as time goes on. He'll begin to get punished by respected allies on the 9-0 line if he doesn't really move. So he's concerned here. Yeah, there you go. He already got some damage. He just needs to suck it up and make his move, I think. Respected is forcing the issue here. 514 damage. A really nice roll into that T49, who is panicking and running into buildings. Yeah, poor guy. But look at his map control so early in the game. Respected's team just has no equal. Now, he could go south, but I think, he's going to go mid-road. And shoot across at the T57, T125, and some others that are over there. And really try to punish them as much as possible. So far, his team has done really well, though. 4 kills to no deaths on their own. So let's see if he's able to get some damage here. Looks like some of those guys were ready quite early for some damage onto Respected, but it's not too bad. I mean, E5 shot him, but like it's not the end of the world. And this AMX 5100, poor guy, has absolutely no cover, and he can't go anywhere. He's trying to use the 57 as a shield, but it's just not happening for him. He will go down any second now. It's probably Respected. Yep, there we go. E5 is beginning to move up, so Respected says, sure, I'll move up as well, because he has control, so no reason not to move up. See what they have. M103, 225 UU, and a T28 prototype. I mean, ultimately, there's nothing really left that can stop this rollover. Sometimes you see, like, teams... That was a really nice shot. Sometimes you see teams control early stages of the game purely because they have a lot of tier 8s that die, but they have a lot of tier 10 super heavies that have just been slow playing and can turn the game around. But in this case, it's just not going to happen. M103, easy farm at this point. The team is just collapsing all around. You can see that their team is basically confined to a very small amount of grid squares at this point, and they're losing more and more control. M103 again didn't check the angle, and the 113 was able to bounce. So unfortunately for the enemy team, there is no hope left, and Respected is just going to be aggressive here. He has lots of hit points, and he can be looking for as much damage as possible. Should be able to get more damage on the prototype. This little M41 just trying to like pepper him around. Just I can help you guys. M103 should be an easy kill here. Nice in the lower plate. And the only remaining tanks to die is 7, the Object 252U. So yeah, rip his enemy team. See, at this point he should probably go back to AP, but well, whatever. See, he doesn't care. You know, it's not like he just doesn't care. I mean, AP is better in this case, but he doesn't care. I mean, you know, maybe you want to complain about heat, so I don't know. At this point, you know, he just doesn't care. Easy damage. Almost 7,000 damage in... To be honest, it's not even a 5-minute battle. 7,000 damage before 5 minutes. Instant map control. Very nice game there by Respected. So next up we have Sand River on Encounter. Now this is a very interesting sort of matchup. Now I'm looking at everything on the enemy team and his team, and I think the only play is to go north, get straight into the action. He has the speed to get to the position he wants on the dunes. You could go south, but putting a tier 10 gun out of the fight is... No, it's not a good idea. I mean, maybe if he was in a tier 8 in a tier 10 game, you'd go south and go to like J1 and try to, you know, get flanking shots, but he wants to be in the thick of the fight, get a nice brawl, and I think the only way he's going to get that is if he stays over here, gets into the fight early. The dunes are perfect for the 113 now, because obviously the turret armor and the added gun depression will allow the tank to thrive in these kind of situations. So I wonder if either of those light tanks are gonna... Oh yeah, okay, there you go. Bashet 12T right off the bat. Let's see if we can hit him. It's not gonna be an easy shot. Oh, dirty. That was disgusting. Very nice shot there to start the battle off. He'll be very happy with that. And actually the Bashet's poking again, so... Yeah, well, worth a snap, to be honest with you. You'll miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So, worth a shot there. But look at this. Okay, so IS-7 has no chance, right? He's out in the open. Unfortunately, Respected was not able to get the upper front plate at the right angle there. But regardless, this IS-7 is just completely exposed. It's lucky he's not going to get ammo racked at this point. M48 is already almost dead because, again, his teammates... Wait, whoa. That looks like the stock gun. Unless I'm very wrong. Granted, I don't pay the patent all that much, but that looks like a stock gun patent. Anyway, yeah, Respect his teammates at A6, A7 were able to punish. And, yeah. Poor IS-7. IS-4 spotted up here, Respected immediately flexing over to go deal with it. He has lots of teammates around him. There isn't a threat on the cap because it takes a long ass time, as you can see, 4 minutes to cap this base on encounter because it's slower. So Respected has all the time in the world to do damage to these guys. He's now moving up. Okay, Mr. Tiger 2. Should be able to get that. Oh, unlucky. He's gonna have this IS-4 to contend with. He does have to be careful with the T-30 though, but he's seen him. And he's just looking around to see exactly where the T-30 will be able to shoot him. Ooh, yeah, look at that gun depression. T-30 unable to actually do any damage though. I'm not sure if that hit the turret or the upper front plate. I imagine it would have penned if it hit the upper front plate because of the... Well, maybe not actually. No, actually, I think I can see the bounce. Kind of depends on the angle. It's difficult to see without the T-30's angle. But a bounce means you can push in and be aggressive on the IS-4. Obviously, once a target shoots at you, there's no reason to just sit there and twiddle your thumbs. Probably going to get penned. Nope, IS-4 doesn't aim correctly and is able to just track him. The IS-4 armor is decent, but not unless you're really utilizing the side armor correctly, and this guy really is not in a great position for the IS-4. Should be able to get that kill. See, at this point, it's a good idea to get rid of the WZ just to make sure. No, it's WZ, the T-34 too. Just to make sure that he's not going to get YOLO flanked to his side because he could definitely have done that in this case. So, got rid of him, limited the amount of guns he could be shot at. He's just keeping a constant eye on this Borsig. Make sure the Borsig does not flank him in the back. You always need to be looking at your minimap, guys. Whenever you get a chance, just to secure. But the Borsig goes down, so he has absolutely no threat in his back, so he can keep kiting back, because... well, I'm not sure what that Yak Panther do. He's like doing, like, look at me wiggle. Like, trying to, like... I don't even know what he's doing. Throw him off by Serpentine? I don't really know what he was doing there. Oh, IS-4, man. Come on. It's like blew his load for nothing. I don't understand some people's decision making. Yeah, a nice little brawl there, and he can now flex back and deal with the tanks. So you can see, like, in these kind of games, you load it into the map, and then you look exactly what the enemy team has, what your team has, what your tank's strengths are, and what you can get away with. And this is exactly a perfect example of that sort of game. Oh, nice. You can see here he went exactly where he needed to go to get the damage early. He was completely safe. There was nothing that could flank him or push him. He had a lot of teammates around him. Everything has been the exact decision he needed to make in these games, and this is what I stress to you guys about positioning. You know, you can complain about heat rounds, and you know, it's around there. The gold in this game is dumb, but so is the levels of armor. You know, Wargaming just doesn't seem to be interested in AP pinnable weak points, so you know, that's what we have. But the main thing you need to look at, guys, is your positioning. So that's what I see people do wrong the most. I mean, you can always aim better, sure, but position. You you know, if he'd gone anywhere else in this game, you know, it might not have gone him nearly as well. And the same goes for the other games. I mean, just look at the Berg game, where he was able to do all that damage that early because he recognized what the threats were on the opposing team and how aggressive he could actually be to get map control that early and secure the win. So T95, I almost feel sorry for the T95 at that point, but this battle's basically over. See if you can get the, nope, unfortunate. But yeah, again, a really nice battle by Respected, and was able to clean the battle up very quickly. Moving on to Kharkov now, which is not a map you actually see that often. It was reduced in terms of appearance in the game. It's a full tier 10, tier 9 battle, but I'm actually looking at it, and this is what one of my issues with how Wargaming is balancing the game at the moment. They have 2 E100s and a mouse, right? And his team has 113, IS-7, IS-7 instead, right? And don't get me wrong, these tanks do quite well. Well, not so much the IS-7, but the 113 in their own right. But the maps aren't built for them in these kind of games. So when you get a heavy city map like this, and the enemy team has so much HP, you know, you have to dig through so much, and your allies have to dig through so much HP, and a lot of, you know, obviously when you look at the mouse, right, you know, in the right kind of situation, you can make the mouse unflankable and almost unpennable. And if people aren't willing to fire heat at the mouse, then it's even stronger because, you know, harder, let's overbuff tanks, right? So this is part of what gives me a headache when it comes to this game. Is I don't understand how the decision making for this kind of thing comes about. But regardless, this is what's in the game, so we'll have to see how he does. I mean, that's a lot of HP to chew through, and the T-57 is so lethal. Both sides, I mean, the enemy team has more autoloaders, but the 57 are the ones that will really have to carry. If you have a team with a good 57 in this kind of lineup, you know, this is the kind of map where the 57 thrives. You know, like the 50B is usually better, but in these kind of games, T-57 is lethal. Just puts out so much DPM so fast. So we'll have to see how well his T-57 does versus the opposing T-57. But he has a lot of work to do because there's a lot of HP to get through here, a lot of armor and hit points as well. Whereas, you know, IS-7s on his team, IS-7s are near enough useless tier 10s. Unfortunately, both the Chinese heavy tanks are much better than IS-7s, although Wargaming have acknowledged that they're going to buff the IS-7s, so we'll just see what they do. But until actually anything is solidly listed, we'll see. But this mouse... Huh. Interesting decision by the mouse. He doesn't seem to care. He's also presenting easy turret cheek shots to Respected, so... See, at least now he's trying to aim, but... kind of a weird play. Should see this VK, I imagine. Yeah. HE with the VK. So far, everything's okay for his team. There's not that much map control missing. Respect has recognized that this is his this is his opportunity to defeat the T-30. Unfortunately, his heat rounds were on much too of an extreme angle to pen that T-30. T-30 goes down right as he fires. Rip credits. VK bounces. That's that time at least he fired AP. This mouse, I was really worried about the mouse, but dude is just like making weird decisions. Oof. Yeah, he has a weird mantlet. Very weird mantlet. Hopefully his WZ and the E5 can... What is he doing? Come on, mouse. My dude, you can see that Respected has a hold down cover and you... Frustration. His team is actually doing pretty well though so far, although they lost the T-57. Well, we'll have to see. The enemy T-57 is still alive, and they do have 2 remaining autoloaders in mills that aren't the T-57. Well, I guess unless you count the Skodas as well. But on the heavy side, that's actually really unlucky. This battle, this could go either way. His team has a decent amount of control, but if they don't use it, I mean, oh god, that's unlucky. That's really unlucky there. Oh, they just lost a lot of guys. I don't understand how they're dying so easily. I guess they're just. I think they're being shot by the T-54A1 from the circle, and then being shot through the actual city where the E-100 and the Emil and the T-57 are. I think is the problem. That's a nice kill. These guys should be cleared up by Respected though, so at least that's something. He's just gonna side scrape here, get rid of this guy. Yep, turret cheek. He's gonna have to be careful of the E-100. Very nicely done though. Backed up in the exact way he needed to. See if he can get this Skoda T50. No, probably not. Shoot the 57 from the back. 57 will probably pull forward. Yes. Sometimes you shoot people in the back and they just like sit there and let you shoot them again. It's really weird. T57 at least moved up, but it's very close. It's very close. The enemy team actually does have 2 more tanks at the moment. T57 fluffed his shot right off the bat. Let's see if he can. Very nicely angled by Respected here. Oh, T57. He didn't get a single pen. Wow. Nicely done. Nicely done. Cleared up the Emil. Should be able to get the 57, no problem. Don't think the E-100 was looking there, so he's safe to do that. Although the Emil is looking, so he just needs to be careful. Oh, but he's never going to pen that. He's gonna try. I don't know. I think you need to save your heat. You only have 1 shot of heat left. You're gonna need that, I think. Don't shoot again, Respected. Don't do it. Oh, man. Greedy, greedy, greedy. I have to ask him about that. I'm sure he'll put in the comments to be like, I did it for this reason. He needs those rounds, though. He only has 6 shells left, and neither of those tanks or shots were ever gonna pen the Emil. Should be able to get a quick shot on the C-100 he just fired. It's always important to make sure you know, check when people are firing. Oh, artillery. Should have time for this. It's gonna be sketch though. Oh. Oh, man. Oh, shoot. This is so close. Can he get the hatch? Nope. Again, like I was saying, RNG. I'm amazed that Emil didn't just poke out there. That's weird, actually. He's gonna have to stay here. He has to stay here. T-54A1 could flank, though. I don't know. He only has the 3 shots. He can't kill the Emil. He needs to keep his T-95 alive somehow. There's the T-54, but he's going for the T-95 direction. T-95 can deal with that, I think. He should get the cross. Oh, Respected. Oh my god, I'm clinching the E-100. Look for the E-100. Maybe the E-100's not going to pop. Oh, he's there. He's there. He's on the minimap. No. Oh, no. Oh. Damn. Mistakes. I think big mistakes there at the end. But, I mean, the first part of the battle, everything was running really smoothly. But his team, I don't know how they've thrown the game so hard. Lol. Respect his dead tank caught. See, even in death, he's carrying the game. This T-95 will go down for sure, though. Yeah, there we go. Unfortunate there at the end. That sucks. That really sucks, but it's just the nature of the game, I guess, at the end of the day. It just needed the shells in the end. And finally, we have a Mountain Pass. Now, this is going to be an interesting battle, I think, because they have the FE215B in the mouse versus his 907. So I'm kind of curious how this will all play out. I mean, the TDs could end up just going mid and they could just stare at each other in the bridge. Although, sometimes TDs do push over on the 1 line. It could be interesting to see the JP100 there or the C110E3. I think if anything, the JP100 is maybe the more likely. Generally find that it's a little easier to cross from the north spawn than it is from the south spawn. But we'll have to see what actually happens. I'm kind of curious to see how this goes down. But there's potentially a big fight over on the 1-2 line, which there usually is. You should never really go ice road. There's no strategic benefit to going ice road. It's a huge flank way out of the way with no support of the other flanks. Respected not stopping there to shoot because, of course, he is lit and doesn't want to risk taking a big hit. But yeah, ice road is just bad, and you can see that he already has teammates wasted down there on the ice road, including a Type 4 heavy tank. So yeah, it's not a useful flank, you guys. Please don't waste yourself there. Although their Fu-215B is wasted there. It's very difficult to assail the flank. You get stuck and bogged down. It's low ground positioning. Yeah, there's no benefit to going ice road. You can easily cover the ice road from other flanks, such as this one right here, as well as from the middle bridge as well. So yeah, not a great flank, but that's okay. He's gonna look see if there's anything to shoot at. We're gonna check their area over there just to see where the little scout tank died. That doesn't. Wow, that was instant too. Like right as his sixth sense went off, the shot landed. So lit there by something. I don't know. The light tank's dead. So if the 704 lit him, that's kind of impressive. Should be able to get a C-54 who is cross. Oh my god. Unlucky there. Unlucky. Oh no, surely not T-54. Come on. It's very frustrating for me to witness this right now. God, they have so many tanks on the ice road from his team. But that's okay. He does have a 907 with him. 907 is very, very potent tank in this kind of situation. Very, very thick armor. Can actually brawl much better than the other Russian mediums. So it's not the end of the world. But the mouse is over here as well. It's going to be really, really difficult. You'd have to be very, very careful if they decide to push aggressively. Oh, come on. Breathe. Alright. Oh my. Okay, wow. So the mouse is here and the JP100. No. Scorpion. Scorpion. I don't understand. Respected's probably just thinking to himself, what the hell were you thinking, man? These trades. Oh, that's unlucky. That is really, really unlucky. Okay, so at this point, this is really important that Respected does not do the same thing as the Scorpion and Poke. Even though he can side scrape, you do not take that kind of risk against the JP100. Especially when you have a 907 that can just basically pen the JP100 in the side non-stop, although the JP100 is distracted. Quick lower plate shot. Again, unlucky. But as long as the 907 is over there, the JP100 is in a great deal of threat, although 907 keeps struggling a little bit to pen him. But he should be punished. There we go. Artie and then the 907 right afterwards. JP100 out here in the open. Yeah, kind of feel sorry for him a little bit, but then that alpha is really annoying, so. He's going to kill this guy, and that's actually a perfect shield. Yeah, he's going to move straight up to apply more pressure. Try and get rid of the JP100 maybe, but no. No shot. Yeah, that's unlucky as well. Wow, it's impressive by the mouse. Pet in the upper front plate. Should be able to get that very nice shot. Low roll though. Well, it's not horrifically low, but it's quite low. Wow, this mouse ain't no gonna fuck around. It's serious business. Wow. Okay, I give props to this mouse. He's doing his best. He needs to angle his turret a little bit more, but otherwise he's doing a really good job. He's aiming his shots well. AP rounds have a really good overmatching mechanic, so doing very well against Respected's turret. Very, very well against Respected's turret. In fact, Respected is like, nah fam. One more shot from this guy and I've got like 200 HP. Although the JP100 is now dealt with. So the mouse is now dealing with both him and the 907. The 907 coming back to help him is actually a really good thing. 907 kept himself very, very healthy actually. He hasn't taken any damage. He's just looking for the comeback from the mouse. Yeah, able to get him now. The mouse should have started like sort of backing a little bit more. Problem is the mouse's position, he was exposed to two different shots from the AMX-30's direction and from Respected and the 907's direction. So now Respected is probably just going to go mid. You can see that the entire enemy team, consisting of, I say entire, I say it's a prototype and an FV-215B, have all but single-handedly killed the entire part of Respected teams that went Ice Road. So, you know, Ice Road, best flank. You know, all you need is one tank and it gets shut down. So, you know, excellent flank, boys. Well done. Although, let's see if he can shoot this FV-215B. So, yeah, please don't go Ice Road, guys. Please, 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 please. What did they have over there? It was like a Type 4 Heavy. I think his E3 might have been over there. I'm not sure. Maybe the E3 died in the bridge. I'm not entirely sure. It's difficult to see. I'd have to roll back the replay and have a look. But I'm pretty sure the Waffle 4 was over there as well. A few other tanks, all defeated. Very nicely done. Well, okay, so this is the sketch part, because he has to deal with this middle flank here, and there's definitely going to be tanks here. He's just going to have to do a quick poke and see. At least he has the gun depression. Okay, that's a Patriot. Now, the FE215B is going to come back through the mid. In fact, yes, he's already begun moving, so this is the dangerous bit. He has to clear a lot of this up so that they're too low HP to really threaten him that much. Once they're low enough HP, then Respected can turn around and deal with the FE215B, and these tanks will be too scared to actually push on their own and capitalize on the flank. That's a really nice shot, but he's going to turn around now, deal with the FE215B. Let's see how this goes, because that is a good gun, and Respected is not healthy. At this point, if the FE keeps going from the side, AP might actually be the better round here. Was able to get this shot. The 907 is now turning around also to help Respected. This should be a pen, though. Very nicely done. Just has to get rid of this FE215B as soon as possible. I'm not sure why this FE came out wide instead of coming around the ridgeline. See what this ridgeline that Respected is on. I'm not sure why the FE chose not to go there and hug that. This Skoda is going to be punished for that big time, I think. No, he stopped. Okay. But they should be able to deal with this. Like I said, they lowered the HP of these tanks so much that there's just nothing they can do. Respected's done 7,000 damage this game. Actually hasn't particularly felt like a 7,000 damage game, interestingly, but 7,000 damage nonetheless. That's actually the stronger side of the 704, but with heat it doesn't matter that much. Usually shoot your right or his left. Able to deal with that easy peasy. 7,789 damage. You can probably catch this prototype as well, so he's gonna go full on back to base. Yeah, I was wondering whether he would go through the ice road, but the prototype will have made way too much progress. He might as well go back this way. I think the reason he's going this way because he thought the 907 and the T10 would both go after the artillery and he wouldn't get any damage on the arty, but the 907 is coming back with him, so he's gonna have to hurry up if he intends to kill this T28 prototype. He's pinging that, wondering whether the prototype turned around. 907 is gonna check it actually. So there's no way the 907 could obviously lose at this point, so full HP 907 at this stage of the game. Easy. Such a good tank, man. Such a good tank. Oh, there's the GW. Well, he just gifted the 907 easy damage. See if the prototype is at least up here. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Okay. It's 251 HP. Of course. Maybe the arty's gonna get him. Yeah. Well, GG anyway. Just short of 8k damage. 1100 assisted as well. So a really nice game there by Respected to cap it all off. So that wraps up the video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope you found it informative, specifically when it comes to positioning, which is what I want to drill home to you guys. Take the heat aside, look at the positioning, read the maps, read your mini-map when the game is developing, but most importantly, just always have an idea about where every enemy is likely to go, where your tank is going to be strongest in terms of, what the enemy has versus you and things like that. When you start looking at the game in this way, it really will help you improve and start breaking through to new levels. So, thanks so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next video.